Good morning. Thanks for joining us. The Kehilat Shari Torah Halacha Review for Thursday, November 26th. And to my brethren and sisterin from America, happy Thanksgiving, and to all who are celebrating it together with your American friends and family. Good time as any to start talking about Hanukkah, which is upon us soon. So Rabbi Lebowitz here gives a few customs. We'll talk about the halachas of candlelighting and all that in due course. For now, let's talk about some of the customs. The Rama, writing for Rabbi Moshe Isserles, writing for Ashkenazim, says that one should make meals, make a nice seudot, not just a snack, but a real good meal on Hanukkah, because the dedication of the altar, the rededication of the altar, right, the whole theme is dedication, took place during these days. Another reason given is that the Mishkan, the tabernacle, which we originally built in the desert on our way out of Egypt, headed towards Israel, was completed at this time on the 25th day of the month of Kislev, Hebrew month of Kislev. Whoever makes a Suda each day of Hanukkah, that's a wonderful thing. The Sudas, the meals which are held on Hanukkah, are Seudos Rishus. They're voluntary, not a mitzvah. If Divrei Torah are spoken or songs are spoken at the Suda, everybody agrees that it is in fact a Suda's mitzvah. The Levush, a late medieval compiler of halachas, says that the meals do not have to consist of meat. You may have dairy. And in fact, dairy reminds us of one of the miracles of Hanukkah, namely that in those days, in this time, there was a decree, the droit du seigneur. How's my high school French working for us, right? The right of the Greek commander over the bride before she went into the chuppah. When Yehudis went to live with the commander, she fed him cheese to make him thirsty, gave him wine to make him shikar. When he fell asleep, she took his sword and beheaded him. She brought him, represented quite graphically and chillingly in fine arts. She brought the head into town and hung it from the gates of the city, and the Greek soldiers ran away. Thanks, Yehudis. Women have the custom not to do malacha while the candles are burning, and they should not be lenient with this for the first half hour in any case, because women were involved with the miracle of Hanukkah. Some say the reason is to show that you're not supposed to use the lights of the menorah. This is there's a segula for women not to do malacha while the candles are burning. The halach authorities, the poskim, say that prohibited time is limited to the first half hour, as I just mentioned. Many say that the only malachas that are specifically performed by women are prohibited, such as sewing and laundry. Stop somebody in my family and ask about the applicability of that. Cooking and baking are permitted. Rav Belsky permits any malacha that's needed in order to prepare food. The minhag of refraining from malacha, from productive labors, only applies to women and not to men. Men are free to vacuum, to iron, to sew, to bake, anything that needs to be done around the house. Good time to get the guys cracking on that. Mishnah Berurah says that men have the custom to be stringent. Because men always working so hard around the house. They need that half an hour break. Wink, wink. But the accepted custom is that the prohibition only applies to women. There you have it. Torah study was prohibited in ancient times. When enemy soldiers would enter their homes, Jews would pretend that they were playing dreidel instead of learning. And Divrei Yetziv says that the Jews of those times were not prepared to sacrifice their lives for learning, so they did mitzvahs in secret. When they would gather on Shabbos, they would play in order to fool the Greeks. Today we play dreidel to show that was not the right way to act. He concludes that the main point of Hanukkah is to show that we are happily and proudly obligated in mitzvahs all times, under all conditions, and we should do mitzvahs openly, not secretly. Gambling is, of course, prohibited by Judaism, but dreidel may be permitted if a plate of money is designated to belong to all the players. A little workaround there. B'nai Yissaschar says that it's an old minhag to play dreidel on Hanukkah. The Gimel, Shin, Nun, Hey allude to the four powers of a person: Guf, Nefesh, Seichel, and Koach HaElyon. The body, the soul, the intellect, and the supernal power, that which incorporates all the others, or for Hey, for Hakol. The Sfarim note that on Hanukkah we turn the dreidel from the top to symbolize that we were able to defeat the Greeks solely because of Hashem's intervention. In contrast, I believe this is also B'nai Yissaschar. Mordechai and Esther decreed a fast during the Purim miracle, so we turned the grager from the bottom, right? From above to below, from below to above. The grager we turn from the bottom to show that we have a small part in the miracle. The Sfarim say that the letters of the dreidel stand for Nes Gadol Haya Sham, Thus, even when we're playing games, we remind ourselves of the miracles that Hashem did for us. And of course, you know that the ones in Israel say, Nes Gadol Hayapo, a great miracle happened here. One may play a little dreidel to fulfill this Jewish custom, but one shouldn't spend a whole lot of time playing. Bir Halacha says to avoid playing cards on Hanukkah. Aruch HaShulchan says that there's a big negative weight for people who play cards, and many averos are involved. The one who can nullify this has a great reward. Okay, couple of more points that we'll make tomorrow. Again, enjoy your turkey. Happy Thanksgiving to all who are celebrating it, and for all of us, there's a lot for which to give thanks today and all days, so let's make the most of it. Take care.